In this study session, we will discuss the concept of being, essence, and existence. The study session will also attempt to examine what is meant by the expression being as being, after which essence and how it is distinguished from existence will be examined. When you have studied this session, you should be able to explain the concept of being, discuss the notions of essence and existence, the meaning and nature of being. Reality is usually appreciated with regards to being, essence, and existence. The notion of essence and existence are contained in the idea of being. Being can be referred to as the isness of a being, that is, the notion of being has to do with the fact that a thing is as opposed to non-being. Essence is the whatness of a thing, while existence is an instantiation or the facticity of a being. The notion of essence is known to be thoroughly intertwined with the notion of existence. Essence is that which is the thing in itself, the reality of a thing. This is quite different from an instantiation or predicate, which are manifested in features and properties of the thing. Thus, in an attempt to understand separately the two notions, a debate has ensued as to which comes or precedes the other. Is it that essence precedes existence or the other way round? In order to understand this debate, it would be useful to attempt an examination of the essence of essence and the existence of existence. A robust discourse of reality is perhaps best represented in the notions of being, essence, and existence. In the medieval period, we have Thomas Aquinas' discourse of being as a prototype. For Aquinas, the act of being is essence. Essence is the actuality of existence, which is potentiality of being. It should be noted, moreover, that in determining the subjects of metaphysical inquiry in terms of being as being, it has not been restricted to any particular kind of being, not even to any sort of immaterial or divine being. We are not in any way referring to being in the abstract way Parmenides did as absolute sameness with itself, or even Plato did as the really real, somewhere separate from the world of becoming. We are referring to being as it is present, concretely in experience. Let us now take a look at essence and existence. Essence is a chief characteristic quality or necessary function which makes a thing what it uniquely is. Existence, as defined by Sartre, precedes essence, that is, people have no given identity until they have made specific decision, have chosen their work, and have thereby defined themselves. This is a mode of philosophy which focuses on the individual person, instead of searching for truth in distinct universal concepts. As such, existentialism is concerned with the authentic concern of concrete existing individuals as they make choices and decisions in daily life. It is evident that material substances exist contingently. They come into being and they pass out of being. While they exist, their existing is not what they are. Thomas Aquinas, for instance, accepting Boethius's position, avers that it is self-evident that what a thing is and its existing differ. Material things depend upon causes to exist, both to become and to be. According to Aquinas, only in God is it the case that what he is, that is essence, and his existence are identical, that is, God is existence. The phrase Thomas uses to express this is ipsume se subsistens. Of course, this is paradoxical. Existence is the instantiation of a substance, not itself something subsistent. This is true with material substances. But when we ask what we mean by saying that God exists, we have to negate aspects of material existence in order to avoid speaking of him as if he were a contingent being. With a position as this, Thomas faces the task of explaining how best to speak of the immaterial substances which are less than God and superior to material substances, that is, angels. Put differently, this is on the basis that for a material thing to exist is for its form to inhere in its matter. But what is it for a pure form to exist? Since immaterial substances less than God are dependent on the divine causality in order to exist, existing cannot be what they are of their essence. In short, in angels too, there is a distinction of essence and existence. Thomas notes that a created separate substance is what it is and not another thing. That is, it has the perfection it has, but not unlimited perfection. It is a being of a kind, not being as such. Form thus operates as a restriction on existence as such. In God alone is there unrestricted existence. He is existence. And here we have an argument for the fact that God's essence is his existence. And yet it remains true that while we know the fact, we do not know the why of the fact because the knowledge of God's essence remains unknown to us. As stated in the introduction to this study session, a debate on whether essence precedes existence or the other way around has been the concern of a number of philosophers. Thus, for the existentialists, such as Jean-Paul Sartre, existence precedes essence, while for rationalists such as Plato, Descartes, Leibniz, essence precedes existence. The proposition that existence precedes essence is a central claim of existentialism versus the traditional philosophical view that the essence or nature of a thing is more fundamental and immutable than its essence. To existentialists, human beings, through their consciousness, create their own values and determine a meaning for their life because in the beginning, the human being does not possess any inherent identity or value. In Western philosophy, Sartre flips over the traditional position that essence precedes existence by arguing in his 1946 lecture, Existentialism is a Humanism, that for humans, existence precedes essence. To Sartre, the idea that existence precedes essence means that a personality is not built over a previously designed model or a precise purpose, but because it is the human being who chooses to engage in such enterprise. Therefore, to Sartre, an oppressive situation is not intolerable in itself, but once regarded as such by those who feel oppressed, the situation becomes intolerable. So by projecting my intentions onto my present condition, it is I who freely transform it into action. When a man says that the world is a mirror of his freedom, he means that the world obliges him to react to overtake himself. When it is said that man defines himself, it is often perceived as stating that man can or wish to be something, anything, a bird, for instance, and then be it. According to Sartre's account, however, this would be a kind of bad faith. What is meant by the statement is that man, one, defined only insofar as he acts, and two, that he is responsible for his actions. To clarify this, it can be said that a man who acts cruelly towards other people is by that act defined as a cruel man, and in that same instance is defined as being responsible for being this cruel man. Of course, the more positive therapeutic aspect of this is also implied. One can choose to act in a different way, and to be a good person instead of a cruel person, and to be a good person instead of a cruel person. It is also clear that since man can choose to be either cruel or good, he is, in fact, neither of these things essentially. In all, to claim that existence precedes essence is to assert that there is no such predetermined essence to be found in humans, and that an individual's essence is defined by him or her through how he or she creates and lives his or her life. As Sartre puts it in his existentialism is a humanism, man, first of all, exists, encounters himself, surges up on the world, and defines himself afterwards. We would conclude this discussion by saying that the arguments of both camps in this debate are persuasive. In this study session, we focused on the meaning and nature of being as being, and then essence and existence. We characterized or defined what is meant by the expression being as being, after which essence and how it is distinguished from existence was examined. And that brings us to the end of study session 2. Thanks for listening.